Namaskar and a very good morning. Welcome to the audio cast from Kotak Securities. I'm your host and guide Anindya Banerjee. It's a typical risk-on day around the world. Kal US stock markets closed big time in the green. और आज Asian equity markets में there is a follow-through. Dollar index is slightly higher because of the higher US bond yields, but USDINR offshore is trading lower, 81.67 as we speak on the spot reference. अगर यहाँ पे open होता है onshore, then we are looking at possibly a gap down of around 12 to 15 paisa. 81.60, that was the zone from where it bounced yesterday. Now, if it is able to break down below 81.60, then we could look at a test of 81.20, 81.30 zone, which is the next zone of support. अगर उसके नीचे trade करता है, then it's a clear cut breakdown. But अभी तक, if you consider the bias, our bias is still downward or bearish as long as USDINR is sustaining below 81.85 on the spot level. So 81.85 के नीचे जब तक है, you would look to sell on rise on USDINR. It's a bearish bias. 81.60 के नीचे we could see some acceleration in the downtrend. कल US data, the GDP report, though the headline was much weaker than expected because the headline came in at 1.1% growth for the Jan to March quarter. Expectation था 2% के आसपास, but internals of the GDP report were quite strong, और जिसके कारण we saw a rally in the dollar index and as well as a rally in the US bond yields. So internals में जो consumption indicators है, they were strong, and जो inflation indicator है, which is basically known as a GDP price index, that ticked higher. So because of which we saw a rally, because the probability of Fed hiking by 25 basis points next week has increased. But anyways, the market has priced in a 25 basis point hike and uske baad a pause and subsequently later in the year a cut. But as we have argued before, ki for a Fed to simply go outright and pause instead of a hike and pause is quite high. Matlab, why should a central bank just hike once more just to satisfy the market's target and then pause eventually? They may simply pause as RBI did. अगर वैसा होता है तो we may see a fall in the dollar index. So that's something to watch out for next week. अभी नहीं, आज the focus will be on the Bank of Japan monetary policy meeting. Now the market is not expecting a tweak in the yield curve control, but definitely there can be a tweak in the forward guidance. Generally a forward guidance tweak will be seen as a precursor to the tweak in the yield curve control policy eventually in the coming months. So keep an eye on the Bank of Japan monetary policy announcement, and the impact will be directly felt on yen-INR. अगर कोई major change आता है, the impact can also be felt across the currencies and equity markets and commodity market as well. But the first impact will definitely be on yen-INR and USD JPY. So we'll be keeping you posted through our Telegram channel about this. आज USDINR के लेवल्स के बारे में बात करें तो फिर as I said 81.85 के नीचे जब तक है, it's our view is bearish. So one can look to sell on rise with a stop above 81.85. अगर 81.85 के ऊपर it starts to sustain, then exit your shorts, and because then we could be looking at the range once again of 81.80 and 82.30. Support is majorly, as I said, 81.60. Now, should we short straddles or strangles? Yes, short straddles or strangles we have been avoiding for the past couple of weeks because the premiums have been exceptionally low because of record low implied volatility. तो ये situation में जहाँ पे एक possibility है of a trend, we would like to avoid it because anyways we are stepping into next week with the event risk of the Fed. So we are not very inclined to short a straddle or a strangle. Intraday के लिए आप कर सकते हो. But just strictly keep it intraday. Overnight के लिए आप अगर carry कर रहे हो, then convert it to a hedge strategy like a iron fly, where you hedge your short straddle with a strangle. So you buy a strangle to hedge it. अगर आपका short strangle है, you want to hedge it, you can convert it to an iron condor. So you buy a further out of money strangle. On cross currencies, Euro-INR, JPYINR could see some downside pressure, but the focus, as I said, will be on yen-INR. So that's it, folks. This is Anindya Banerjee signing off. A fantastic day ahead.